Good on, my friends. I'm Rick, and this is your seat at the table. Gray and White Mama's over there sleeping on the pile of stuff the wife's got stuck over in the corner to keep her from getting under stuff. It's just something else. Anyway, we are looking at Magic in the Shadows, a Shadowrun sourcebook by Stefan Hansen, produced by FASA. This was produced for third edition Shadowrun, and what's the date on there? 1999. So it's been a minute ago. I bought this thing, and it says here that 2019. So I bought this at JCD Hobby some years ago, and he had it. You can't see the price, but he got it for what is that? $1.99. $1.99. I thought, wow, that was really, really cheap. And the book itself, well, it's almost, I mean, it's not brand new, obviously, but it's in really good shape. And keeping in mind, I haven't ran or played a Shadowrun campaign in decades, so this has never seen use on my table. But I did read through it. Eventually, I read through it a second time, third time. There's a lot of useful stuff in here. One of the things that I noted early on with Shadowrun in the early version of it was it lacked a bunch of the crunch like you would find in Dungeons and Dragons, including things like how to craft magical items and how to craft new spells and things like this. They kind of hinted on it, but they didn't have any mechanics, any decent depth and stuff. This book here does. And I don't know. I'd have to look and see if I could find my second edition version because this is a little different from the Grimoire. So I don't know if there was second edition had some additional stuff for things like that or not. But we get the introduction, the awakened world, the paths of magic, including the path of the shaman, the path of the mage, the path of Waxing, the Wujian aspected magician of the Eastern philosophy magic, path of voodoo, the path of the wheel, the path of the adept, magic traditions, and awakened oddities. And then we have the next main chapter is the awakened character, creating awakened character, magic skills, magic loss, gifts, magic skills, ritual sorcery, enchanting, spell design, initiation and meta magic, initiation, magical groups, avatars, meta magic, the planes, the spirits, magical threats, the grimoire, adept powers, totems, arcane lore, and credits. All right. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good read to help set the vibe of the setting, right? Path of Voodoo. There's always certain things like that I always wonder. So, like the Path of Voodoo, is that something you really want to encourage your characters to be involved in? Because there's always a negative denotation about Buddhism and being, the voodoo magic, the warrior's way, the magician's way, magical traditions, gypsy magic, druidic magic, awakened skills, magic loss, astral projection, gifts, accepting a gift, removing a gift. So if you lose your ability for every point of ability you lose for casting magic, you can substitute a gift that will help. The problem is that you become dependent on said gift over time. Right. Visual team, beginning casting, ascending tests, noticing ascending, sorcery tests, drain resistance, ritual tracking, artificing. The artificing specialization used to make foci. Artificing requires the enchantment shop and the item to be enchanted or the materials to make the item. The character begins by designing a focus formula, enchants the item to be used as a focus, and then bonds the item with using karma. So always something a little different. Always. All right. Designing new spells, spell categories, spell types, range. drain codes, elemental effects, initiation and meta magic. Like I said, these books are quite intriguing and full of great information. And some of this I don't know could ever cross over to another setting, but you never know. Uh, if by chance you run across this book laying somewhere and you're into magic, even if you're not into Shadowrun, this would be a good addition to a game master's rapid toolbox because it gives you yet another set of optional material to pull upon. And for $2, man, I do not think I went wrong here. Absolutely not. Anyway, I'm me, you're you. Guys, have yourself a great weekend. Winter's coming. You know, it is.